So majority of the chapter in the beginning was basically a lot of people from the guild's reactions and basically saying, "Oh shit, Natsu, what are you doing, mate?" Because it's kind of like crazy out of nowhere, Natsu saying, hey, I'm gonna just jump in there guns blazing by myself. Which in a sense, if you think about it, it's kind of character regression opposed to what we've seen thus far. Because if you think about it, Natsu prior to this, in the time skip we've seen, has been a little bit more mature. He's kept a lid on his hot-headed level of going crazy and jumping in there and doing shit on his own and just, you know, not following the plan and whatnot. But in this chapter, we see him just basically go straight in like, fuck it, I'm fighting Zeref on my own, I'm going through a whole slew of people, and it's kind of like, what happened to some of the cool-headed nature that we had just previously seen Natsu obtain after the time skip? And I definitely feel as though, I don't know if it's going to be a death flag, to be honest with you. I think it's definitely foreshadowing when Gray had his reservations of Natsu going alone. Erza was saying, hey, no, he can do it on his own, and a couple of people were like defending Natsu and saying, hey, you don't have no faith in him and whatnot. So I definitely think the fact that it was stressed in this chapter, Gray having reservations about it, especially the fact that Gray has this vendetta against E.N.D, I definitely think that's a bad sign that ultimately Natsu's not going to make it out of this and immediately take Zeref down and, you know, it's all going to be over. I think that's a huge setup for something to happen to Natsu along the way where he doesn't come back, you know, 100%. I won, I did it. Because if you think about it, now that we know that there's a huge connection between Natsu, Dragneel, E.N.D, and the whole thing with Zeref or whatnot, it's a possibility that Natsu could possibly be brainwashed or turn into E.N.D while he's over there. Maybe that Zeref's plan all along is like, okay, I got this motherfucker here now, I have the book, bada bing, bada boom, bada bam, Natsu's going to be evil, and then the Alvarez Empire is going to have one more weapon at their disposal. And I mean, again, a lot of this chapter prior to the ending was definitely a lot of fodder. Natsu fighting, I think he took out, what, 973 fodder soldiers, just blasting them away. And I was kind of like, yeah, this chapter's like whatever, honestly, nothing too spectacular. But it was definitely the ending, though, that felt like a huge plot progression. It's like, holy shit, the final fight of the series, seemingly anyway, is about to begin. But to be honest with you, I think it's a cock tease. I don't think we're going to see immediately Natsu and Zeref go in, and that's the end of it. Especially with that whole warning sign of Gray kind of being worried about Natsu going alone and Gray's connection to his whole anger about E.N.D and whatnot. I think Natsu's going to end up getting either tricked or trapped or turned into E.N.D in this whole thing. And the next time we see Natsu, after these next couple chapters, he's going to be just full-on evil, and he's going to fight Fairy Tail. But I don't see him being that much of a threat to the point where he kills anyone. Maybe he'll hurt somebody really bad, possibly Lucy, and then potentially snap out of it. But I definitely see us going into an evil Natsu, you know, E.N.D sort of thing after this little encounter that he's going to have with Zeref one more time. And another thing I gotta mention, how the fuck does Erza see Natsu on his own being enough to take out Zeref? Not including the fact that he has to get through all these troops or whatever, which one of them blasted him in the face if I'm correct. But also, how do you just in general see Natsu by himself being able to take out the great dark mage himself? It's kind of like, what? Last time I checked, Natsu is strong, but he was never put on this pedestal that he's just like one of the strongest of all time, when Zeref is one of the strongest of all time. I mean, do we even know if he's surpassed Gildarts yet? So how would you think that he is more than enough to take down Zeref? I mean, yeah, okay, have some rooting for your friends, so to speak, like, yeah, you know, have confidence in them, but at the end of the day, it just kind of feels like, what the fuck are you talking about? I was honestly on Gray's side with that one when he's basically like, no, you know, he's on his own, I'm worried about him, how is he gonna fight, you know, Zeref by himself? And Erza's just kind of like, yeah, it'll be alright, bro, don't worry about it, be fine. That's Zeref. Like, what? And honestly, I think the thing that saved this chapter from being anywhere from to average was that ending, because we advanced tremendously with Natsu showing up right in front of Zeref, so the pacing definitely picked up abnormally at the ending compared to everything else prior to that in the chapter. So with all that being said, it was a good chapter nonetheless. Couple problems with it. Definitely I felt as though it was slight character regression on Natsu's side. I mean, he's getting all hot-headed and going crazy and charging in. Also, Erza just saying, hey, yeah, Natsu can all of a sudden defeat Zeref. I know he had some training and he said he has a little secret weapon or whatever, but seriously, it's fucking Zeref. And a lot of the fodder in it was just kind of like, I mean, you know, you have to get through that, so it just doesn't look like, oh, yeah, he's totally unguarded. Zeref was just chilling out in the flower field, so you had to have that, so I'm glad we got past that as well. So yeah, 7 out of 10 for this one. Let me know what you guys think, though. First of all, do you think Erza is batshit crazy, thinking Natsu is more than enough to fight Zeref on his own? Also, do you think that Natsu is going to make it out of this? Do you think that that was foreshadowing that something bad is about to happen with Gray having this big worry about Natsu? And what do you think about about that ending though. That ending got me hyped. Natsu in front of Zeref. Zeref like, ooh, I couldn't wait to see you. Like, you know Zeref is up to something, and I think we're gonna see E.N.D very soon. And your bro thoughts of the chapter, but that's all I have for this review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, if you could do so as well, that'd be amazing. I'm from the world, and as always, people, have an awesome day.